Right.
Hello everyone, this is Max. You are watching Equity Match online live pitch event. Today, as always, we have founders coming from all Europe and US, and one investor guest today coming from Germany. I hope Hans is from Germany because you are between Germany, between Brussels, Britain, everywhere. So thank you guys. Before we start, we stream on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So as you are now watching us between the three, and everyone wants to come to pitch, please send your pitch deck at pitch@equitymatch.co, and we are more than pleased to welcome you. We have brought on stage almost 500 founders for the last 16 months. We are very close to the first 100 pitch events. We can't wait to celebrate with you. Now, the last but not the least, if you want to raise any question to our founders, please do it, and we make sure that they will answer immediately soon after. Now, before starting and introducing our four great founders, please let me introduce to you Hans Beyer, investor and CEO of Coffee Holding. Hans, how's it going?
Fine, Massimo. Thank you very much for inviting me once again. I'm very thrilled to be with you this evening.
Thank you so much for coming to spend you 1 hour with us. And I'm sure our founders will be more than pleased to have you having some very productive Q&A with them. Hans, would you like to give a short intro to yourself before we start?
Yeah, of course, if you want so. So I hope that the founders will be happy because I'm known to ask, sometimes holes into their business model, which sometimes, that makes them think. But that's the idea, basically. You go to a doctor when you are not happy and when you are ill, and not when you are healthy. So from that point of view, it's again. But this, hi everybody again, Massimo. Thank you very much for inviting me once again. I think it's the third time, I guess, or something like that.
I think so.
Yeah. I've been working 30 years in the investment industry in London and in Paris under several different perspectives, actually. Corporate finance, brokerage, asset management, real estate investments, and lately private equity and venture capital. But all had one theme in common: undervalued equity, both listed and unlisted. So let's see if your company is potentially undervalued equity. But I also switched side and worked for a group of London-based investors as a CEO in Lyon, France, of a French B2C startup in the food and beverage industry. We actually successfully launched an organic soda, actually four different tastes, into the supermarket shelves next to Coca-Cola from scratch. Now, on the startup side, I am a coach, expert, and jury member of two regionally based accelerators in Cologne and Düsseldorf. As Max said, today I'm speaking to you from Cologne in Germany. The Cologne is the city which you probably know with the cathedral. But my investment company, Coffee is based in Brussels because I'm also a Belgian national. And in the end of the day, originally I grew up in Paris. So Massimo is right to say, I'm certainly not a very typical German, on the contrary. With partners, we invest in small to medium-sized B2C companies in the luxury and the premium business, and we help them to scale them up once we have recognized the proof of concept of the traction by sales. And now, adding to my investment expertise, I have profound hands-on experience in branding, go-to-the-market, and international marketing. So I am not expert in all of your areas. In two areas which I can see, I probably, I can give you some insight. For the others, I can't give you really industry insight, but I can only then give you, if you want, a feedback on the way you present and then the feedback on the desk. So thank you very much for listening to me, and I'm now looking forward to the pitches.
Thank you so much, Hans. I believe the first one, Genia, is pretty much not that close to you, but pretty close. So let me introduce to you Genia. Genia Mineeva, founder of Bean London, headquartered, UK, London, retail apparel and fashion, seed around 400K in USD. How's it going, Genia?
Yeah, really well. I was just thinking I'm also not a very typical German, but maybe we'll talk about it during Q&A.
Thank you so much. Genia, please give an introduction to yourself. You can go straight to page and Hans will follow.
Yeah, I'm just gonna present. I go into slides, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's the one. Yeah, I saw it. Okay.
Yeah. So my name is Genia. I'm the founder of Bean London, and my journey into what I'm doing now has been quite unconventional, to say the least. I spent most of my career in this room. I don't know if anyone can see the slide and recognizes this space. It's the BBC newsroom. I spent most of my career as a news and current affairs journalist, was an editor at the BBC, then moved on to communications, led campaigns for the United Nations, and ended up becoming a global director of communications for change.org. And so my career was going pretty well until I watched a documentary about waste and the amount of stuff we're all creating and throwing away. And to be precise, it's 22 billion tons of stuff that we throw every year, with only 11% of it getting recycled. So I went to Cambridge for a year and learned a little bit more there during a sustainability course, and realized that virgin material extraction is the biggest driver of climate change. So the idea is very simple. I thought, why don't we use the stuff that we already have, all that waste, to create the stuff that we really need? So this is really how Bean London was born. So what we make is premium accessories made entirely from waste, so entirely from recycled materials. So in this example, you'll see, so the zips are made from plastic bottles, the linings are made from discarded carpets and fishing nets. The main body is made from tannery offcuts and trimmings, milled into a powder, pressed into a fabric core. And we use at the moment a huge number of materials, and we keep pushing that innovation bit of our work. What it results in is an 87% reduction in carbon footprint compared to anything on the market. No nonsense impact. We're probably the geekiest fashion brand that ever existed. Apart from tracking our carbon footprint, we really track the amount of waste we're diverting from going into landfills. And we, as I said, will work with over 30 different waste-derived materials at the moment. Yes, some of them are made from beer waste, and this is one of the most exciting projects that I'm working on at the moment. We got a huge amount of press. The media seem to really like our work, apart from British Vogue calling us one of the most innovative fashion companies in the world. We've also gotten a bunch of different awards. Just last week, we announced that for Drapers this year, Sustainable Awards, we're finalists in 3 different categories: circular innovation, sustainable textiles, and brand of the year. One of the best awards that I'm really proud of, one of the top, or named one of the top 100 places to work for in the UK, and that's industry agnostic. I think what's interesting, especially the feedback we're getting from fashion press, is what they're saying is we are the only company, the only brand in our sector that combines really solid design and really beautiful, that premium luxury feel, with proper, very no-nonsense impact measurement and real innovation that is not cutting any corners. This is just a selection of some of amazing women that have been wearing our products. This is all completely organic. It's not paid. On the right-hand side, that little blurry image is Jessica Alba, who just out of the blue texted us, well, through our Instagram, messaged us and said, I would like to see some of your products. And then she posted them with those little cute pink hearts. So last year, we added another revenue stream to our business model. We started as a direct-to-consumer company. In 2023, we delivered a big project for Formula One and DHL. You see those banners, they're only used once at every race, every Formula One race. DHL got in touch with us and we designed a bespoke VIP gifting collection for them. We've done 2 projects with DHL ever since, so it's been really fun. And we've also worked with Netflix. They're both double-branded collaboration, so it's Netflix X Bean London. I can't talk more about this because I've signed a bunch of NDAs. But what I can say is that B2B has actually become a big chunk of our revenue, and in last year alone accounted for over 50% of our revenue and keeps growing. We find ourselves strategically positioned on the intersection of several fast-growing markets, so ethical fashion being one of them, accessories, which is growing quite steadily, corporate merch, and all of that kind of underpinned by the circular economy expertise that we have and that huge growing market. And we feel like with what we know, with how we work, that combination of true impact and really good design, we can take decent chunks of all those three markets. Where we sit, I think that's a slide maybe interesting in terms of price point. So anyone who's doing anything close to our impact work costs 3 times to compared to what we sell things for. And yeah, I think it's quite a unique place that we occupy. The team is pretty amazing. Cosima, our head of design, used to be head of accessories at Kenzo. Brittany used to run production at the White Company at Erdem. Our advisory board includes former CEO of Whistles and creative director of Topshop, Jane Shepherdson. Sophie Headley was head of comms at Selfridges, etc. We are growing, we're revenue generating, and our next big steps are really building on that success of Netflix, DHL, Odeon Cinemas collaborations. We've just secured a contract with Tate. We're working with Tate Modern at the moment. So that's a big chunk of the work that we really want to be building on. And the second one, we're going into wholesale. We're going to do it very carefully, but we know that demand is there. We've had some initial conversations and they're really, really promising. We're raising 400,000 to invest in the team, increase our manufacturing capacity, its marketing budget, and better impact measurement tools, because it is really our USP. So working with bigger corporates requires a little bit better measurement tools. That's it. Thank you very much. My name is Genia.
Thank you so much, Genia. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very, very exciting. Do you want to, Massimo, should I respond directly to?
Of course. I'm working away. All your sons.
Genia, is very interesting what you're doing. However, I've seen several of companies like that, specifically in France. Yeah. And of course, it's totally Main Street now. Everybody wants to the big French firms. They all look for replacements of the leather. They all look for replacements for that. So put it that way, you're definitely answering a growing demand from the industry. And it's a question of design, it's a question of marketing, and it's a question of that I'm not going into that area, because that we have to talk about this in detail. What I would like I would like to know from you is basically, it is actually the question, what kind of margins do you have, number one, and number two, the problem always in these kind of companies is that they are very vulnerable to competition, and which means that you need a lot of money to basically stabilize your stronghold in the market. And so from that point of view, I wonder if you can say a couple of words to that one, because as I said, being a young company like that, it's great. I mean, it's also, I like the design. However, of course, you are very vulnerable, still very vulnerable, you know that, and lots of things can affect you. And last not least, this would be my last question, is actually, that the luxury business is going down. They have a turnover gone down. China doesn't work as we used to know. We have inflation and purchasing power problems in Europe, as in the States as well. So the luxury industry in general is suffering. Do you think you're going to be affected, or are you going to be sort of protected by the fact that you are having a unique position, or not a unique position, but a different position in the market?
Mm-hmm. Good questions. First one on margins. On direct to consumer, we're very close to 70% at the moment.
70.
70.
Without VAT, including VAT?
Yes, without VAT.
Okay. Yeah.
So we are in the process of moving some of our manufacturing to Italy, because at the moment we manufacture everything in the UK for transparency, human rights records, etc. But we're moving some of our manufacturing to Italy. We've just tested one factory with a B2B project. We're working with a big French corporate client. So we've just tested the factory and we're going to be moving some of our production there. So the margins will increase a little bit, but we're also hoping for a little bit of a quality uplift of the craftsmanship that we can achieve there.
Yeah. Yeah.
On wholesale,
I would agree. Italy has a long, tradition in this
exactly. On the margins for B2B, it's usually between 30 to 40% on B2B projects. It is at the moment very case by case. We can sometimes put a higher markup on what we do. We kind of sense check it, but on average, it's roughly 40%.
You are aware of this, and this is my own experience, is, when they let you in, which is fine, but all of a sudden, if the thing goes well, they always scratch on the margin. So they want more and more and more and more. That you have to know this. You have to build this in, that down the road, they won't even more. Specifically, you're starting to get dependent of them. They ask for prepayments, they ask for more rebates, etc., etc. So on that one, you are very vulnerable as well.
Are you talking about wholesale, kind of retail?
Yeah.
I was giving you the example of corporate partnerships, the likes of DHL. So they're quite bespoke. So they come to us with their waste streams. So in this case, it was the Formula One banner, and we're doing something like this for Tate. They give us the materials, we design a product, manufacture a product, and then we sell it back to those companies. And payment terms are very different. So we always charge 50% upfront on those kind of things. So that's how we've been funding ourselves. So it's been a really good kind of stable income for us. And I think there's a huge potential in that. At the moment, we don't even have anyone working on this apart from me. So that's, apart from the production team, but like all the sales, all the communication is just me. So we feel like by hiring at least one extra person who could, source those, kind of just bring people in front of me, and then we can, I think we're quite good. We have 100% conversion rate on that so far. So quite a good track record. So your second question on competition, I totally agree with you that I think in any consumer brand is vulnerable to competition, especially if it's in, fashion or, fast-moving consumer goods. Everyone is vulnerable there. I think we have two quite strong points. We're really staying ahead of the game when it comes to material innovation. So we're constantly in the press for those material innovations. So I feel like from sustainability point of view, we'll always stay ahead. We're like a couple of years ahead of, so the materials that we're testing, like, I'm not going to name them, but luxury brands are going after us. So we're usually the first to come in. And the second one, I think our integrity is worth a lot when it comes to competition, and the honesty with which we communicate and how we don't hide anything. I think we're not a very typical fashion brand. We think slightly differently, and we don't want to hide anything. So I think there's a lot of value in that, and we hear from our customers that makes them choose over other brands. And your third question on luxury business suffering, yes, I mean, of course, all those conversations with the retail especially, but we feel that our three kind of segments of different revenue streams make us a little bit more stable compared to our competitors. We have our direct to consumer, which, we've done it from the very beginning, so it's quite established. We have our corporate partnerships, and then we are establishing wholesale. So we think that this segment, with our future-proof material and innovation work, we are pretty, as stable as it gets, I think, in this segment.
Well, thank you very much. I've seen you have very good advisors, right? Because that's very important to have experienced advisors in this kind of industry, because it's a cutthroat, shark pool industry, and although it's very glamorous and it looks great from the outside, behind the scenes it's ugly.
I never wanted to end up in this industry, honestly. It just turned out to be a really good vehicle for that message.
Well, but you have of course the advantage that you have a lot of your colleagues are in the press industry, so you can actually tap into the media, which is a very good, which is one of the assets you probably have.
Yeah, we also just entered into a partnership with Studio 3. We haven't announced it yet publicly, but it will be announced shortly. They are former top executives of Net-a-Porter Match, who are kind of becoming an extension of our team. So we're getting some really, really good support there on specifically merchandising, entering wholesale, margins and numbers. We're doing a big piece of work there at the moment with their help.
Do you have somebody who helps you raising the money?
It's primarily me.
We can have a private call, Hans, with you often.
Yeah, no, it's quite interesting because I'm working with a partner. I said this in the introduction. I'm working with a partner who's actually in London, and he is out of London. He is advising a couple of several family offices, also in Switzerland. So let's talk about this. Well, I invite you to get in touch with me, Genia, through Massimo or whatever, and then we can perhaps have a look at this situation.
Thank you so much. That would be amazing. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Genia. Hans.
Genia, bye. No problem. Although good luck for the future, for the next days, I would say.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Let's speak next week.
Thank you. I move to second founder, Kevin Blake Thomas, co-founder and CEO of TICKETSELLER, Middletown, USA, education, tech, AI, machine learning, B2B, e-commerce, SaaS, pre-seed, 100K USD. How's it going, Kevin?
It's going awesome. Thanks a lot, Max. Pleasure to be here, being part of the Equity Match team. Dr. Max, pleasure to meet you as well today and for the viewing audience. I'm just going to jump right in with my pitch. Just give me a quick thumbs up once you see it. All right, cool.
Digital. Give a short intro yourself and after go straight to pitch.
Sure, no problem. So again, benefit for everyone. My name is Kevin Blake Thomas, co-founder and CEO at TICKETSELLER. So I've been in the digital space for about 17, 18 years now, working with customers, solving them, consulting them on digital strategies. And the common thread in this 17-year journey for me has been really that passion, working alongside customers and helping them address pain points in their business. So much so that this has stuck with me that now I have left that corporate space, gone into entrepreneurship, and really solving a problem that I'm passionate about and really excited to share with you here today. So the name of the startup is TICKETSELLER. We help Shopify stores increase their sales through shoppable images. Digital ads don't work. Imagine losing half of your ad budget and all you get is silence, no returns. Every year, businesses spend billions of dollars on digital ads, and yet nearly 50 cents on every dollar spent is wasted. In fact, just last year, $622 million per day was wasted. And that's not just money down the drain. It's lost opportunities, resulting in brands now paying 3 times more to acquire customers. And there are 3 factors driving this. First, ad targeting accuracy has plummeted by 30% due to increasing consumer regulations and privacy measures. Second, consumer behavior has shifted now, where 82% seek ways to avoid and dodge ads. And finally, brands are losing $29 per new customer without a way to retarget. So this just diminishes returns for the business. The digital advertising landscape has changed, and we need a new way forward. So that's where TICKETSELLER comes in. We have developed an AI platform that embeds relevant products into images of content creators, making them interactive, clickable, and shoppable. So you can say goodbye to intrusive banners, annoying pop-ups, and welcome a seamless, engaging experience that captures the attentions of audiences and converts them into customers. The end result, brands win, creators win, and consumers win. For merchants and brands, we boost their revenue and cut their customer acquisition costs with our shoppable images. For content creators, we offer them a new passive income stream as our AI effortlessly embeds products into their images without requiring any additional effort on their part. And finally, consumers can now discover and purchase products directly from within the content they love. And that's a game changer. Every day, the 13 million e-commerce stores across North America is hemorrhaging money on wasted ads, representing a total addressable market of $27.1 billion. For us today, we are focused on small and medium Shopify stores in the food and beverage segment who are earning up to $1 million in annual sales. These retailers are small and they lack dedicated resources for marketing, and they're looking for new effective ways to reach their target audience, presenting a prime opportunity to position TICKETSELLER. Over the next 5 years, we see ourselves hitting $130 million in top-line revenue, really setting the stage for transformative growth in the e-commerce space. TICKETSELLER is not just an idea. We are turning heads and we're making waves. We've already been backed by the world-renowned startup accelerator Techstars with a robust investment of $120,000, validating our potential. Second, we went to market with an MVP that racked in $10K in revenue over 1 quarter, showcasing the immediate earning potential of the solution. One accomplishment I'm very proud of, we have been able to forge partnerships with industry giants like Shopify and 3 others. And as a result, we have built a pipeline of 800 new Shopify merchants eager to begin using the platform. And finally, we are now live on the Shopify App Store for mass distribution and customer acquisition. Our business model is really simple, but it packs a punch because we earn in 3 different ways. First, we charge merchants a monthly subscription of $99. Second, we take 30% of each merchant's campaign budget to place and serve their products in shoppable images. And finally, we earn a 10% commission on all sales from our shoppable images. So when we look at the landscape, we see that there are 3 prime competitors, but we stand out in 3 key ways through our SMB focus, our unique distribution, and our network effects. So TICKETSELLER targets the underserved SMB segment of the market, unlike competitors who exclusively focus on large brands. I mentioned unique distribution. We offer a universal shoppable experience to distribute products of our merchants, unlike competitors, or using live streaming platforms and movies where there's no possibility for live purchasing and shopping today. And finally, as we collaborate with creators and publishers, our network grows exponentially, attracting more merchants and solidifying our position in the market. So we have 8+ years as a founding team of collective experience working on various initiatives. Our team is our strength. Our CTO, Darwin, has 16+ years of software expertise building enterprise solutions and mission-critical applications for organizations. Raul, our CRO, he has 22+ years in sales and marketing across both B2B and B2C with an emphasis on advertising. And finally, as I mentioned, I bring 17 years of technology consulting and enterprise sales. So we know how to sell, we know how to market, and we know how to build. We're a triple threat. More importantly, we've cultivated valuable connections in the industry with experts who are mentoring us on this journey towards success. Over the next 12 months, we'll acquire 300 brand subscriptions, which would see us growing to 300,000 ARR. To hit this milestone, we are raising 800,000 around. This is going to allow us to scale and accelerate our product development and scale out our AI platform. It's going to allow us to expand our team with strategic hires and focus on customizing and optimizing our customer acquisition strategies. So we have all heard the expression, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, with TICKETSELLER, every picture is worth 1,000 sales. So I encourage you to take the first step towards advertising reimagined and join us on this journey with TICKETSELLER. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin. Yes. First of all, I have a question how it actually works. Let's suppose I'm in Instagram. I see a photo of the guy on the beach there, the last slide, okay? And then and how do I get the beer which he's showing? How does it work? I put the cursor on it, I tap on it, or how does it work? I mean, run me through the techniques of it.
Yeah, sure. So certainly just for clarification of how we work today, So today we are focused on the web rather than traditional social media. So we are working with creators who are in blogs today for now. And how it works is that we match a merchant with a well-performing creator. And what do I mean by that? This is a creator who has wonderful content, who has the right target audience for that merchant at the end of the day. And once we have made that match, it all happens behind the scenes. We are now going to, our technology automatically scrapes and examines the blog website, and we can pull the images, run it through our AI platform where we insert the brand, the product. So you saw soda beverage, we insert that soda beverage of the image of the guy at the beach, and we put it back onto the website. That new VPP image, that's what we call it, the productized image, that is available on the website for the duration of a campaign. A campaign, basically, a merchant says, I want to run a promotion promoting this soda product, Shandy. I want to run it for 5 days. That's the duration of the campaign. That's the length of time it's going to be available on the site. Once the campaign is completed, the image reverts to the original.
Okay, so the product is visible on a website or on the blog.
That is correct.
Basically, rather than, okay, so it's traditional advertising, but it's actually broken down to websites, basically. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And the technique you're using is AI. So you basically go behind the scenes. You get the picture of the blog, and then you put the beer bottle in it. And basically, what happens? I mean, I see the beer bottle there, but
right.
How do you?
So as I mentioned, there are three personas involved in the process. So I spoke about the merchant. They're the ones who want to run a campaign. I spoke about the creator. They're the ones who have digital white space in their images for sale.
But as I'm a consumer.
And then the third person is the consumer. So you would go to this creator who you follow. So you go to his blog every day, maybe twice a week. And when you go to that blog, you see this new productized image. There's a visual indicator that captures your attention, very subtle. And you can begin interacting with that photo. So once you start touching it, it's gonna rotate the image. You're gonna see a little information about the product, and it can take you so far as to having an e-commerce checkout experience where you can purchase a 6-pack, a 12-pack of that beverage and have it delivered to your door.
Okay, that's the product side. Now, on concerning turnover, do you have sales roughly at the moment?
So I mentioned that in our MVP, we did go to market. We did it very low scale, low tech, traditional style with real products being placed in it. And we saw interest from consumers. How do I get that? I would like to purchase that. So that was validation for the product placement strategy. As of February, going the next month, we are actually relaunching with the AI. So it's a fully end-to-end automated process that we are going through.
But my question, Kevin, my question was, do you currently have sales?
Right. So we got sales from the MVP. As we relaunch, we are going to be getting sales again. So during this window,
I'm trying to get the metrics here. So you're raising 800K, and in relation to what kind of sales at the moment?
Say that again, the last part.
You're raising 800K, right?
Yes.
So what are you valuing the company at?
Right. So we are essentially pre-launch. We're launching in February. We have a pipeline of 800 merchants who are eager to begin paying and utilizing the platform. So right now we are in a position where we see the business being monetized. The 800K, we see that as an avenue that's going to help us accelerate that revenue prediction to get us to 300K ARR over the next 12 months.
Yeah, but if you're raising 800, what do I get? What does the investor get in return? How much equity?
Right. So at this point in time, we don't have a valuation that's set. We are letting the market determine what the valuation is set, and that is going to determine what the equity is at the end of the day in the exchange.
So the investor gets a loan. Is that a loan or what? Because I don't understand.
Yeah, so it's going to be equity that we're offering in the business. So the investor is going to have an ownership stake. We're raising that 800K as a safe, as the instrument for doing that. So currently, it's not a price draw that we're doing.
But
so
you need that money. The clients you're lining up, Kevin. I understand that. So the linings you're lining up and who are behind the horizon, and would like to work with you, you need the 800Ks for to basically service them. So it's the fuel the car is ready, but the 800K is the fuel which you need to get the car ready and go. Is that correct?
So I see it slightly different. The car is going. The 800K is going to get the car moving faster.
Okay, it's already moving.
Yes.
Okay, good. So you have a burn rate, etc. No, I'm trying this. I mean, you have made this pitch to me now, but in the next pitch you do, you should clarify this, because these questions are very important for an investor, because he wants to know what the value proposition is, and all the IT talk, which is great, but that's these days it's I would say that's raw material. I mean, you don't get into the details. What is interesting for an investor is is the ticket, is that a cheap ticket or is that an expensive ticket? What is the risk involved? Where are you standing? That's what he wants to know. So you have to clarify this, in a pitch, so that he understands. And you should say this. We are raising 800,000 because we are now having traction. We have the clients lined up, etc., etc. So this would actually give us the potential to grow, and look at the team, and also that and all the rest. You see, it's a question of gripping my attention, because the question I'm asking, you should have them answered from the beginning. Because
appreciate the feedback. I think the slide where I spoke about the 800K, I did touch on that. Maybe the feedback is, maybe I can emphasize that more so it stands out. It's clear.
Or you put it as a second or the third slide, so that you set the scene. I was, how would I say, I was waiting impatiently, through all your presentation to finally get to the last page, last presentation, what you are actually raising and what you're doing. So I would invert it, because that means that you have my attention from the beginning, focusing on what's coming behind. Because after that, I'm saying, okay, it's just IT stuff. Fine, this is you don't have to. I mean, these days, IT, you either have a specialist there and he's going to, throw holes in this, or you have somebody like me who, for me, the IT you should present is enough that I understand it, but where's the value proposition at the end of the day? This is what I'm interested in for an investor. And you have to focus on what he wants. An investor, and I said it in my introduction, an investor is looking, is this an undervalued company? Do they have a great idea which could be really big, and and what is the interest ticket? That's what they want to know.
Awesome. Appreciate that insight.
Thank you so much, Hans. Kevin. A molto TED founder, Roi Ramot, CTO 3D Sim, headquartered in Roche, Israel, technology seed around 3 million in USD. How's it going, Roi? Unmute yourself.
I'm very good. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming.
So
Shalom.
Shalom.
Please, if you want to go through your intro and straight to pitch, Hans will follow up. Thank you.
Yeah, just a second. Oh, I seem to have 2 pitches here. So I'll introduce myself. Okay. So I'll introduce myself in a few words. My name is Roi Ramot. I've been working in developing medical devices for the last 15 years. I have a background in industrial design and in software engineering. I work with my father for the last all my life, basically. He's also in the medical device development for the last 30 years, basically. And we've come to work on basically silicon 3D printing from our last project, which was nipple restoration implants. And we found out how custom-made implants are important and how each person is basically different. And from there, we got to 3D printing of silicon with emphasis on implants and long-term implants. So when we talk about the medical silicon implant industry today, there are a few main issues that are important for the future. One is patient-specific implants. The world is going more and more towards patient-specific solutions, and that corresponds also to implants. This is due to innovative technologies like 3D printing being developed, and 3D scanning, and CT and MRI scanning, and model building software models. And the second thing is improving the existing technology of mass-produced implants, which is relatively old school and traditional in a lot of ways. And all the big companies are looking for the next technology, basically, to improve and make the process more efficient. And the last thing is, when we talk about the next generation, basically, of mass-produced implants, this is what our technology is basically enabling: new designs, new things that are currently not being done and the current technologies are not able to produce, which result in lighter implants, safer implants, etc. So the solution: we are basically developing a 3D printer capable of 3D printing silicon and other similar materials, with emphasis on us not changing the material. A very important part of medical device manufacturing is to use a pre-certified material. That means that material that have already been certified by the FDA, has a CE approval, has a long-term history in medical devices. Otherwise, you go to a long road of regulatory issues and convincing the market. Basically, our technology is material agnostic. That means that we can take any silicon, any polyurethane from the shelf with all the certification and improvement that he already has, and print it as is without changing it, keeping the regulation, keeping the properties, and keeping the quality. So when we talk about the technology, we talk about basically how it is a platform technology. So we have on the implants, which is the main focus. We have skin contact products like CPAP masks and things like that. And we have medical models, vascular and heart models that are being used today in training and pre-operation procedures to get ready. And this is our main focus as we come from the medical field. But again, this is a platform technology which also has a large potential in the industrial side, in automotive and aerospace, that we are not focusing currently, but are definitely on the horizon. Just talking on what we focus currently. So there's a medical market size, $1.6 billion basically, when the largest segment is the breast augmentation implants. That is our main focus, and this is what we're working towards. Our competitive edge over other companies that are trying to 3D print silicon. So we are not sensitive to the material properties. That means that we can take almost any type of material, any type of silicon, and 3D print it. We've done this with a bunch of materials, more than 10 materials, from high viscosity, low viscosity, long cure time, short cure time, everything. We 3D printed everything with great success, high quality, and very good parts. And again, and we're doing that by printing off-the-shelf materials that we are not changing whatsoever, keeping all the original properties and certifications. And we can do that and we can print extremely complicated structures, from lattices, complex lattices, to thin wall structures, and a lot of things that we came along the way. And we can print thin, transparent, that are currently no one is able to, and hollow structures. Currently, up until now, we raised $1 million. Some of it was from the founders. Some of it was from a large strategic 3D printing partner that is manufacturing and selling 3D printers worldwide. And some of it was from the Israeli Innovative Authority in terms of grant, on a non-dilutive grant, basically. We are raising $3 million, and this will take us through a couple of milestones. One is doing the first implantation, human implantation. We are already discussing this with clinical and medical partners that are willing to do this. We want to set a production line with our 3D printing partners, do a product launch, and go into sales. A few words about the team. So there's me and my father with over 40 years of experience in medical device development. Yossi Bornstein is a co-founder, part of the Shizim Group, a long history in biomed and biomed companies, getting them into market and growing them. David Blossom, our strategic advisor in the US, connects us to the largest companies in the world in medical devices. And Professor El Gur, which is CMO with a long history of aesthetic surgery and implanting. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Roy. Hans, please.
Thank you very much, Roy. Very, very interesting. Now, however, I mean, I don't know nothing about this kind of industry, as you can imagine. My eldest son is a very successful doctor. He would ask you lots of questions because he is regularly in the operating in the surgery room because he is an anesthetics. So he knows probably about the problems. But anyway, that he's not here, so I have to stand in if you want. Now, just what I didn't understand, and perhaps it's the fact that I don't know anything about this could actually help you, because that means that if you explain it to somebody who doesn't really understand the industry, the questions you should address. The first one is what are you actually producing? Are you building the printer, or are you actually producing the implants, or both? That's the number one. That's the number one question I would have actually. With the FDA registration on that, I fully understand that you're using actually material which is already FDA approved. So from that point of view, no hassle and no problems whatsoever. Now, your go-to-market strategy would be interesting, because I can't see this. Are you marketing to big companies? Are you marketing to hospitals? Are you working through intermediaries with the doctors, etc., etc.? So it's probably very interesting for an investor as well, because that the market size is big, I understand, and it's probably huge. But nevertheless, each company has a certain go-to-market strategy, and it needs to be addressed. Also, the valuation of the company. You're raising $3 million, if I understand. So, what is the valuation you give to this company? Do you actually have sales already? So one can put this into perspectives as well. You see on the metric side.
Okay, so let me see if I remember all the questions. I hope I didn't forget.
The first one was are you producing the implants or the printer, or both?
So first thing, we are producing the printers. We are currently providing service for medical models, but we want to produce the printers. We're selling this equipment to the implant manufacturers. We are currently in contact with 2 large implant manufacturers, and we are placing the printers at their facility currently. This is
so you are a hardware company.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Which is you're manufacturing hardware. Oh, okay. So you see, that's a little bit. This is, I think, very important to say, because then one can put things into perspective. So you're producing the hardware. Now you have probably you have the patents on it, and all the rights, I suppose, which have been secured worldwide, I guess, right?
Yeah, we currently have 6 patents on the process itself and on the material, on different parts of the printer. And so those are filed in the US, in China, in Europe, and in Canada, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Where is the production? Is that in Israel, or is that where you produce the stuff?
So we are currently producing in Israel.
Yeah.
Our partners are basically producing in the US. So once we go into production with our part of our investor, the company that invested money in us, we probably will go and build at their facilities, which are in the US.
Do you need probably, how much money, or do you need most of the money for the marketing and then building the production facility, I suppose?
Yeah, most of the money would go into to basically getting the product to sales. That means setting up the production and starting sales.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So this is, and in what sense is a product scalable, in a sense? Because that is also very important for an investor to know. Because in theory, the what you are actually looking for is, it's actually a project which you can offer to banks, because bank give you a loan so you don't lose any equity, because after all you're manufacturing hardware, and the banks can basically take either the patents for it as a guarantee and give you the money, so you don't have to go to the equity market, because equity is quite expensive, as you know, because it dilutes you. So going to a bank or an Israeli bank or specialized bank on that one would probably be very interesting for you, or more interesting for you than going to investors.
To be honest, we haven't investigated that avenue of fundraising.
Of course. Yeah.
That could be a possibility. I think that currently we're looking for investors, as we want to get a little bit more mature in terms of that we have the production line, we're really ready to go into the market. And once we get to that point, scaling up is absolutely, I think it's a possibility to get loans in terms of
yeah, but you're positioning yourself as in the medical industry, but you are, after all, you're a hardware company which is specializing in the medical industry. So it's a different kind of investors, and it's a different kind of investors you're addressing. You see what I mean? So you should probably clear this. You should probably clear this in a way, because that gives you more access, or access to the right sources of funds. What is the margin of your set? How much does a machine cost? One of the printer cost?
So we are now pricing it about $40,000 US.
40,000.
Yeah, for each printer.
Yeah.
That printer basically is the idea that it's for building a print farm. So currently, if we talk about a small to medium-sized client, we're talking about somewhere between 600 to 700 printers being sold in it for his manufacturing capacity, and over that we're going to get margin from materials sold and service provided.
I see. Okay, that makes sense. And the margin on a machine like that?
So I don't want to go into those details.
Yes. No. Okay. Don't give me the figure. What I'm just telling you is, if you are sitting in front of investors, and if you do your due diligence, of course, which I'm not doing, so I fully understand that you want to keep the cards close to you, but there's no problem. But you should understand that you need substantial margin to be able to convince an investor that this is an interesting. And if you just make 5 or 10%, it's going to be very difficult, because you're going to be very, very.
I can assure you it's more than that. It's fine.
I'm sure.
We're pretty good, but yeah.
But if you sell the machine too expensive, then all of a sudden you will draw in competitors. So it's a fine line between being too expensive. It's not easy. It's like selling television sets. You have to follow the market in a certain way.
Absolutely, I can tell you that from talking to our partners in the 3D printing industry, which are selling currently printers in the medical field and the industrial field.
Yes,
we price pretty well. The margins are validated, so we're in a good place in terms of the business model, as far as we can tell. Yeah.
Okay. So now, to wrap it up, it's very interesting what you're doing, Roy, at least. But perhaps if you in a presentation like that, you clarify a little bit where you're standing, so that you get the attention of the people, right, or the investors, or the people in the room right from the beginning, and focus it on what you're doing. I mean, this is that's not negative, of course. You see what I'm saying? It's clarification. That's all.
Yeah,
I have been sitting through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of presentations. I can tell you, most of the presentations are, how would I say, not optimal. And what is missing often is, put yourself. Are you a scientist?
Yeah, I'm an engineer.
Yeah, exactly. As engineers have the problem, I mean, and I've been saying this before, engineers have the problem to think commercially. You have to put yourself. I can't be a scientist like you are, and what I am, you can't be, which is totally normal, because everybody has its position in life. But you have to put yourself into the shoes of an investor. What he's looking at is, as I said before, and think about it the next time as well, are you an undervalued asset which I can buy? Do you have something which is extremely interesting, and where I, as an investor, can make money if you scale it up? So if you can answer these 3 questions in the end of the day, then you have the attention of investor.
Okay.
Thank you, Hans. Roy, stay. Don't go because we are pretty much soon all back. Moving to our last, but absolutely not the least, founder, Helena Gioti, co-founder, TICKETSELLER, headquartered in Athens, Greece, travel and tourism, pre-series around 180K in euros. How's it going, Helena?
Hi, hello, how are you?
Hello.
Good. Thank you so much for coming. Please, we are very short with time, but of course, please introduce yourself, pitch, and answer follow up. Thank you.
Is it?
Hi, Helena.
Hello. Hi, my name is Helena Gioti, and usually I don't do the pitches, so that's why the first slide say the CEO of the company, Giannis Milatos. So I will be more stressed than the other. TICKETSELLER is the first host travel agency, and I will present to you the independent travel agent. The independent travel agent is a service for all. Oops. Yes, here for all of those who like to organize trips, students and graduates of touring profession, event planner, wedding organizer, tour guides, digital nomads, influencer. Everyone who wants to promote travel experience, promote and sell travel experience, and earn extra income. Independent. Sorry. Today, the problem we have researched in the travel industry are the difficulty of starting a career in touring due to limited job and the difficulty of opening one's own agency here in Greece because it needs many resources and credibility. In Greece, the failure rate of being a travel agent is 41% failure rate. TICKETSELLER is the first host travel agency in Greece and acts as a wholesaler between the network of independent travel agents and travel industry supplier. This includes operation, marketing, accounting, training, and more. We have an easy onboard process, registration process, and very easy to use a B2B booking platform with only 3 steps for someone to plan and organize a trip and earn a commission. We also have one-to-one webinars for all independent travel agents, both of the use of the platform and the use of digital marketing, social media marketing, and sales techniques. The travel industry market is huge, but I want to stay in this number that 55% of millennials, both in the COVID period and after COVID, they needed to hire a travel agent in order to book their holidays. Our business model is simply simple. We have membership packet for the independent travel agent, which is yearly, and we have commission on each independent travel agent sale. Our competition here in Greece is just the traditional travel agency, but we have a competition in the worldwide. There are a few other host travel agents in the world. Here in Greece, we don't have really competition because we are the first. We established in October 2019. 2002 for the tourism industry was a black year, and so we break even in 2022. We are two members, 2 co-founders in this startup, me and Giannis Milatos, and we have where team spirit, effective communication, and adaptability, combined with strategic thinking, managed to create an ideal team adapted to the new era. And we are seeking. We have made a lot of partnership in the travel industry in order to have all services for travel services for the independent travel agent. And we are seeking for 180,000 in order to launch a new independent travel agent news site where we can showcase all independent travel agents we have, recruit some people like for quality management and front-end developer in-house, and give the independent travel agent a certificate. And maybe later the big plan is to establish a career academy for all travel agents. Thank you for.
Thank you, Helena.
Sorry.
No problem, no problem. Absolutely, you've done a great job. Hans.
Helena, you did well. Don't worry.
Thank
You
you.
did well. Thank you. And next time you do a presentation, don't say that you're stepping in. You are a person of your own, and you fully made it, so no problem. You don't have to excuse it. People who excuse yourselves, or themselves, you don't know why they're doing it. So from that point of view, no problem whatsoever. Now, you are a Greek company, I suppose.
Yes.
I mean, have you addressed the question, if you're talking to foreign investors, if they can buy parts in a Greek company? Is that actually possible or not? Secondly, if you're a limited partnership, can a foreign investor, buy a piece of a limited partnership? I'm asking just the questions. You can say yes or no. But that is something which you should, address in the last page. Secondly, is what I don't understand in times of internet. I mean, everybody can book his flights, can book his travels through internet by himself. Why should I actually go to you, to book my flight, to book my travel? What is special? I haven't seen your USPs, which you have to explain on one side, because the first thing is, in times of internet, everybody can do everything itself. So what is the value added you're bringing to a consumer, to a traveler? Now, what I like best is the fact that you actually produce licenses for travel agents. That could be interesting, because even if it's a marketing tool for a travel agent, by paying a small fee or paying a large fee, whatever it does to you, and if the state has given you the right to license travel agents, that would make sense. That's an interesting business. However, your market is very limited, because you're not going to find 200,000 people who are going to become a travel agent every year. So from that point of view, you have to know that it's a limited market. But I can't see the USP which you are bringing for an investor who to tell him, yes, we are an interesting company, we are undervalued, would you like to join us? This is the same thing I said earlier to Roi. You have to figure that out.
Yeah, let's start answer the questions. Let's say there's one consumer go online, book a flight or hotel, and when the trip comes, when the time goes to the airport, there is some problem there, like with luggage or the time. And so most of the time, consumers cannot are not satisfied with, by the support of the airline company or the hotel, because they don't do support. Like they don't have the support if anything happens.
Yes.
By going to the travel agent or to someone specialized in one market like Disneyland, or for a wedding organizer, and having all planned by them, or an event organizer, they can assure that everything will go.
Elena, I understand that. That makes sense, of course, because if I book through the travel agent is liable also, to sell me a product which is actually, really there, that the hotel is in that quality. So that I understand. So Again, what I think is missing in your presentation to convince us is basically, to make a slide where you say, this is today's world. Everybody buys, everybody is doing his own travel arrangements on the internet. However, by using a travel agent like us, he gets, this kind of service. And this is the reason why we have a market. And this is the reason why, it's because you have nice sales, I've seen. So from that point of view, I mean, you definitely you're hitting a demand. There is a market for you. There is a market of people who ask you advice. And that would make a lot of sense. And this is the main focus you should actually give us to investors is to look, you might think that everybody buys in the internet. No, it's not true. Because of you are only species, we are special, and this is what we are, which we are producing. And by the way, yes, we are a big company, but you can still buy into us. You can buy something into us. So that would be a logical flow of the business of the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
You understood what I said, or should I say it again?
No,
it's okay. No, is you start with the internet, and and then you say what the advantage is that you'll be using a travel agent, and then you say, look, there is a demand. Look at our sales, and because of our sales, there definitely is a demand. And if you want to join us, you can buy a part in a Greek company. That would be the logical presentation I would make, Helena.
Yeah.
Helena, Hans, thank you. Helena, stay there. We're bringing you right now all the funders, and I'm starting with you, Helena. In 20 seconds, convincing Hans and all the investors watching today, why investing in your startup? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Helena?
Me first.
Yeah. 20 seconds. You first, please.
It would be great to invest in our startup as we want to establish this career academy for travelers, for travel agents.
Yes. Yeah. Speak. Yeah. It's your turn.
Yeah, mostly, but for this.
Thank you so much, Helena. Roi, why invest in your startup in 20 seconds?
So I think that our technology is very unique. It's groundbreaking, and it's going to change the industry, basically. It has a lot of potential, and now it's the time to enter and become one of our partners, basically, for the road ahead, as we really going to launch the product probably next year. And this is the time to get on board before we go into market and start really raising the value of the company, adding and getting to become a big player in the industry. I think has a lot of potential, both business-wise and both as terms of really helping people getting better implants, doing changes in the medical industry, and getting it forward, being part of something that is cutting edge and really changing people's life at the end of the day.
Thank you so much, Roi. Kevin.
Thank you. The world has changed, as we see, through consumer regulations and privacy increasing. We see that for small businesses, it's important. Every dollar spent, every dollar must bring a return at the end of the day. We see consumers, their behaviors and their patterns are shifting. They're suffering from ad fatigue, and they're trying to avoid ads altogether. TICKETSELLER is the answer to this change. We believe that we bring about a new interactive experience for consumers, something that they can enjoy, create lasting impressions with brands at the end of the day, and reduce that customer acquisition cost and boost brands. TICKETSELLER, advertising reimagined.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Genia.
Good one. I don't know how to beat that. But we've got an amazing customer traction, both from individuals and some of the biggest companies in the world. We've got an amazing team. We've got a good product market fit, which is tried and tested. And we're trying to really revolutionize the way products are made. We've proven that it's possible, and we'd like to take people on a journey of creating the world without waste.
Thank you so much, Genia. Before we close, you can watch again this event on our YouTube channel as all the previous ones. We almost reached hundreds before, and we are looking forward to celebrate number 100 very soon. You can get in touch directly with the funders. We are not charging. All these events are done as a complimentary service or platform, EquityMatch.co. And of course, if you can come to us, we make a warm introduction. If you want to go straight to the founders, you can do. That's why we give all the information. And we are very happy because we're here exactly for this. Hans, thank you so much for your time. As always, you've been brilliant. I don't know if you want to give the last advice or founder generally working because we run out of time. And after we close.
No, I just want to close that I've seen great pitches and great products and a lot of enthusiasm and passion. And that's very good. That's very good. You guys are on the right journey, and I really wish you all the best for continuing that kind of journey. And don't let you bogged down by problems. Everybody has problems. Life is hard. Get a helmet and just move on.
Thank you, Hans. Hans, Helena, Kevin, Genia, and Roy, thank you so much. And thank you, everyone, for watching today. Thank you. See you next time.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.